Hi, it's Janine Stefanucci again. If you've all read my intro, then we're ready to move on to a part of my story of an autobiography. Um, I gave you some parts of the story about being teased already, and the banana woman, and the first day of kindergarten, and there's so much more. My whole life I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. Because everywhere I went, people always made fun of me, and I still don't know why to this day. Um, I had actually got the advice that since I lived in fear my whole life, and among other things that pertained later, um, I probably never got to be a kid. I mean, the way emotionally I should have been, not in fear all the time. And then brought up wrong in a sense that you don't even know right from wrong. That's how bad I thought it was. Um, anyway, I had a sister also. Um, she was abused, but a different way, not like my story is. But let's just say I saved her butt many times, and I always will. And I love her. And I remember looking at our pictures. My mom dressed us alike, and we had the same dresses on all the time. And I know my little grandma used to sew us dresses for Easter. It was convenient having a grandma that had to sew anyway. We had a little grandma and a big grandma. That's how it rolled. Little grandma was the Italian, 4 foot something Italian, and then there was the big grandma who was tall and slender with more seafood, I'd say, because they fished a lot. They lived down the shore somewhere among one of their houses that they owned. I think my mom always dressed me funny. I mean, so bad that I remember Bert and Ernie, the shirt that me and my sister had. So I guess it was, I don't know. I don't remember that being in style in school. So school never worked out for me. I was picked on so much. And a lot of stuff I went around home that school didn't know about. They had diagnosed me with ADHD, but my mother I got on medication. The teachers noticed a difference, and then all of a sudden she took it away and said it wasn't working. And I never ever heard of meds again until I was an adult to know anything about anything. So I didn't know anything. My mom was in denial or didn't know she was sick. I don't know what happened, but so anyway, long story short, I know we have our little grandma a little bit. She was right down the street from our house. And, I remember her babysitting us when her parents went out. And they went to Florida. They went to long trips places. And little grandma really looked out for us the best. And she was like a mother to everybody. But something had happened to my grandfather, her husband, that not quite over, but we and my cousin and my sister were playing one night. And the one night I was misbehaving that night for some reason, and everything got out of hand. My sister wouldn't calm down, and a hand was laid on her for the first time because she wouldn't listen. And the last words that man said before he went to bed is, "I wish I didn't hit her." And he never woke up in the morning. And I was blamed for that because I was the one that was acted up at 8 years old. Nobody knew that in the family, that she said this to me. She'd scream it to me. "You took away my husband. You took away my..." And I was a little kid taking this big responsibility on. But I still love her. I miss her. I miss her so much. And she was the greatest. Both my grandmas were, and my grandfathers. That I forgive her for. I don't know why. But you're supposed to forgive. So anyway, school I always sat alone. Never got picked for partners. I was good in school though. I know well, first I'll go back to first grade. When they found out I had the ADHD, my mom, took me back off that medicine, and she would only feed me no sugar lunches. So dumb me, very dumb, started stealing people's snacks just so I had a chance to eat something good, or if not eat at all. So I got caught finally, but when I explained to everybody could explain to. I finally get different lunches from my mother after that. But yeah, I wanted to eat, and if I didn't eat the puffed rice in the morning, it'd be there when I get done school. So apparently the doctor told her no sugar or something. But how do you tell a kid to eat puffed rice every day? I don't know. But I'm okay now. Okay. Also, I guess when my parents were fighting, a teacher told me to shut up, and I didn't find that appropriate. So I picked up a desk and I threw it. I told her, you don't talk to me that way. And I think it was the first time I was suspended from school or something. But they always got me in high classes and high math classes and stuff like that. So I wasn't dumb. I mean, I was slick, but I wasn't dumb. Okay. Now, if you ever have known two manics to live together without their medication, imagine one living upstairs, one living downstairs. You know, I was afraid. Well, I wasn't allowed to come downstairs till 11 to 12 p.m. every day when I was a kid. I wasn't down in the kitchen to cook anything. That's my fault. I burnt popcorn. I went to tell my brother, and the kitchen was going to get back. But I never was allowed in the kitchen until I had a baby. So I had no idea what a kitchen even existed of until formula came along. My mom dated after the divorce. And I think I had mentioned she had, I guess she was dating this guy for a while, and she had asked if she could marry him. I didn't even know him. You didn't take us out, doesn't your kid, you know? So if I put it together now, I understand she's sick, and I understand her disease. But, you know, it's just, some things don't make sense to me. Like, why didn't I get help? Why couldn't she help me? Or, I don't know. But I can't ask why. So as I keep going, so by 8, that was that. By 9, I was already, the movie The Blue Lagoon came out, and I wasn't allowed to watch it, and I was just trying to watch it, and I got curious early. So I was like curious about a lot of things, and by the time I was like 12, 13, I'd say, I had already at least 3 children not treat me right. And older kids I had run into made me do things I didn't want to do. And if I didn't do them, they'd call my mother and make up stuff. So my mom would beat me. And they weren't kidding, because they really did it once. And I know shouldn't have went over there, but I was friends with the one person, and when I went over there, I was away from my mother, who I didn't know what mood she'd be in when she came upstairs or I came downstairs. That's what I was trying to say earlier. You know, so it happened to be where I didn't want to be with her that day. She was bad. And I would just, you know, run away to the creek sometimes, or sometimes I'd go over there. But then they started forcing me to do things I didn't want to do and threatened to tell people if I didn't come back. And it started with sexual to male, female, till drinking. And by the time it was over, I was a full-blown alcoholic, drinking Sambuca all the time. And drugs came later, of course. Some of them are deceased now. So that's how far, you know, they got. One I feel sorry for. He apologized. But, let me see. So when my mom got divorced, it was rough for me and my sister. There was nobody to help us then. My sister, when she got sick, got kind of messy, but she didn't with me. I was working in nursing homes, and I could tuck and roll that girl anytime. They would help me. They told me where to get the stuff. They loaned me some if I didn't have any. And I mean, I never had a drop fall nowhere, not of vomit, not of number 2, nothing. And she's still around. Right now we're searching for the best care for her. Okay, now anything else? School got worse when our birthday was Dracula. Then my mom, I had said, you know, had married my stepfather. Well, I didn't know that I thought I had at first a mean dad because he used to make fun of my mom so bad she'd cry. And then he had a sweeper truck. And first he'd let me listen to my music. And I make my tapes. I couldn't wait to listen to my music and just make a couple dollars and, changing trash or whatever. And just staying up late because I was always a night owl. I always had some trouble sleeping, afraid to go to sleep. And then one time he caught me picking up his cigarettes. So, like, casually, first he let me smoke. Then he let me confide in him about anything and everything. And then the alcohol came in. And when two people get drunk, I can't even tell you the story of my stepdad because he had me pretty much unconscious the whole time. I'd tell anybody that I was on drugs. Well, yeah, it's easy to get them when you're giving them to me. And at this point, it was pot and beer or Sambuca. And I more remember of the times puking on him, passing out in the shower, him trying to rape me one night, and I prayed to God, and a truck pulled up behind us, and I was like, shoo. But, it went on and on and on to so much, to drug rape, to a possible baby involved that I had to abort because of the chances it was his. And I don't even remember half the night. I don't know what happened. I was starting to get flashbacks. And no matter what, you had control of me since I was underage. So I didn't know. This man told me things that I just never forgot. Like, he used to bring me down to this lake that was insulated and tell me my boobs are bigger than my mom. And, these things, I don't know. I hated my mom. And, I don't know. But I didn't like him. I never liked him. I never was attracted to him. They were saying when all was said, it was done, that it was my fault. So I let mom's robe hang out. I wore my mom's robe because I wanted to be like my mom. I wore my mom's robe because it smelled like her. But anyway, he still is alive, and he says that it's my fault. I was underage, and you used all my things that I shared with you to tell everybody against me. You knew all my vulnerabilities, and you used them against me. You knew I was the type of girl that couldn't say no, and you took advantage of that. And you still think that I liked you. Not a chance. In the end, you raised me to do what I gotta do to survive. And I did. But now I don't have to do that no more. Because I respect myself for who I am. And I am a survivor. There is more to this story. A lot more as it goes on. Because unfortunately one day the pot didn't work. So we'll see what comes next, and I will hit you up next week. You'll have a good week. Thank you.